everybody, welcome back to Talk with Nia. So let's get into the Diddy trial and let's talk about what's going on with Diddy. So in case you've been under a rock, Diddy basically is facing criminal counts, 5 criminal counts. 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. All right, so Diddy has denied all of the allegations against him. We all know Cassie has come out and shared her experience with Diddy, and then that disturbing video of her getting dragged down the hallway, clearly beaten, and getting beaten really shook up the whole world. Now, here we are. Diddy's been arrested. He's been in jail, and here we are on trial. Now, basically, Cassie is taking the stand, you guys. Cassie is very much pregnant, but she did show up to court, and she is a huge witness for the government right now. So let me just talk to you about what's going on. Now, we saw all his kids, the mom, they've been coming to court, right? And we also saw Misa using a walker, which I don't know why Misa's on a walker. Okay, I don't know what's going on with Misa, especially with the whole lawsuit thing between her and Mary J. Blige, 2 very good friends. That's a whole side thing. But a lot of people have been showing up to court. We're just all surprised why the daughters are showing up to court. Those girls are still really young, and we're going to get into this a little bit more, but they're going to hear a lot of things that they should not be hearing, okay? Now, the prosecution and defense delivered their opening statements yesterday. So prosecutors alleged that Diddy used his fame and power to run a criminal enterprise that facilitated his freak-offs and drug-fueled orgies involving paid SEX workers. Now, the defense admitted that Diddy was jealous and occasionally violent, but they insisted that all the alleged victims participated willingly in his SEX life. Now, Cassie is taking the stand, and we're going to find out what's happening because this is going on right now. But what has currently happened, a guy named Daniel Phillip, who is a male escort, he went to court. He took the stand, and he said that he was paid to have SEX with Cassie in 2012 and 2013. So he completed his testimony today and testified that Diddy directed the sexual encounters with Cassie. They were all paid for. And then he denied questioning from the defense that he was in a relationship with Cassie. Now, let's get into Cassie and what she had to say, because this whole situation is crazy. Now, Cassie said that she was always conscious of appeasing Diddy and did everything possible to stay in his good graces. And she quote unquote said, "I didn't want him to be upset or not to trust me." And she also said, "He's a scary person. He would be violent." So Cassie admitted that they engaged in freak-offs in all of the homes, hotels, and listed several places in Southern California and across the country. Now, she also got a little emotional in court this afternoon when she was asked, what she enjoyed about being with Diddy. And Cassie, who's 8 months pregnant, by the way, was crying and grabbed the tissue. And she answered and said, "When we had one-on-one time, when you care about somebody and love them, you don't want to disappoint them." And Cassie began to cry again when shown an email she wrote to Diddy and said, "I really need to F." And it's also said, so who you want to F? Gonna call someone? That's what Diddy wrote back. He asked her basically, "Who do you want to F?" And Cassie responded and said, "I want to F you. Are you crazy?" And she was asked why she wrote that, and she said, "Because that's how I felt." So it looks like in this exchange, she, wanted to engage in sexual intercourse with Diddy, but he's asking her, who does she want to have sex with? Does he need to call somebody? And she's like, "Are you crazy?" All right. Now, she also talked about being humiliated and feeling disgusting during these freak-offs. So the drug-fueled orgies basically were a regular element of Cassie's time with Diddy. So even though she hated every moment of it, it was something that they did on the regular. And she testified and said, I felt pretty horrible about myself. I felt disgusting. I felt humiliated. I didn't have the words to show how horrible I felt. I couldn't talk to anyone about it. And then she recalled drinking alcohol and taking ecstasy when first having intercourse with a sex worker for Diddy's entertainment. Jesus. Then she said, I was high, so I didn't feel much. And she was thinking, did this really happen to me? I didn't know what was going to happen after that. If we were going to do it more frequently, I said yes to more. I didn't want to make him upset or angry. All right. So, oh my goodness, this is getting to be a lot. And basically, it was also shared that Diddy had fantasies where he would want to see Cassie, having sexual interactions with another male so he could watch, which is what the male escort guy said. He said that he had got paid and he was paid to come there as a stripper at first. And then they said, well, look, we're going to pay you $4,000. Diddy wants to watch me have sex with you. Basically, Diddy wanted to watch her have sex with other people. And he would just be watching and he would be masturbating, which is nuts. Okay. So, yeah, she also said that he had guns in the safe houses of his home, so she had access to some of these safes and things like that. So, yeah, I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on. So, she also mentioned something that's a little bit disturbing, and we're going to address the baby oil thing soon that she's going to talk about. But Cassie said today that she was expected to participate in these freak-offs during her period. Oh my God, against her will at Diddy's request, resulting in blood getting on furniture. Cassie also said that Diddy had an escort urinate on her during an encounter because it was a turn on for him. Okay. Diddy also participated, she said. And she just felt humiliated, she said. She said it was disgusting. It was too much. I choked. I didn't want to be doing that. Oh my gosh, she was choking on urine. And she said, I was in a position I couldn't easily get out of. I eventually put my hands up and Sean saw and told him to stop. I was choking. Too much urine in my mouth. Sean urinated on me at the same time. Oh my God. Then she was asked why she didn't say no to the urination, and she answered, I was squeamish immediately, but high in the moment. That's about it. You don't have a lot of control at that moment. Oh my God. The girl was choking on it. Jesus. And then she talks about the whole baby oil, okay? Now, the baby oil was used in the freak-offs at Diddy's request, according to Cassie. She said everyone involved, including her, would pour all over their bodies. She said Sean wanted it heated. He wanted it to be glistening, so we applied every 5 minutes. Cassie also said there was a pool filled with baby oil during the freak-off at the Montage Beverly Hills, which she got into at Diddy's request. And she said if Sean wanted it to happen, that's what was going to happen. There was no way around it. We used 10 bottles of baby oil, regular size. So that's why he had all that damn baby oil in the house. So Cassie also mentioned other items used in freak-offs, including Astroglide lubricant and condoms. And she said staff would bring the items, but if the freak-off was last minute, Cassie would bring them. Goodness me. Okay, now we still got more to go. There's still some updates and things that we have to share. But yeah, Cassie even talked about punishment that Diddy would have her under. She recalled how Diddy would lash out at her by taking away her electronics, cars, and other possessions as a form of punishment. She said he would take the car away, the house, jewelry, the physical things didn't matter. I just wanted his approval. And she said that the staff would take them. And if she wasn't there, it would be a staff member or security. Oh, my Lord. It just seems like Cassie couldn't get out. It seems like somebody that's, of course, it reminds me of a domestic violence relationship. Someone being abused. They're too scared to leave. They don't know how to get out. They don't know how to leave. They feel trapped. And clearly with that video of her trying to run, she was trying to escape. And then if he was violent, putting his hands on her, obviously, dragging her up, she just wanted to make him happy, probably so she wouldn't have a day of being hit or being violent or who knows what that man was punishing her with outside of taking away electronics and stuff. She probably felt iced out from the entire world, and couldn't talk, couldn't communicate. I wonder if she had any friends. This is just really, really sad. And as we can see also in the video clip, after the male escort spoke about his time with Diddy and Cassie being paid to have sexual intercourse with Cassie while Diddy watched, the twins and all of the daughters, they left the court. They left the courtroom. Obviously, they couldn't take it no more. Those girls should not be here to listen to this stuff, because now they're really seeing who their father is and what he's interested in and what he's doing. Okay? And they're going to get a clear view of what he did to Cassie. You know? It's all out there. It's all out there, no matter what he told them over the phone, no matter what the brothers told those girls or what not to believe. It's all out there. It's out there. Those girls are too young to be hearing that. And shame on Diddy for doing all this stuff. And then he got to have his kids listening to that. And he has all these victims out here. Poor Cassie. Poor Cassie. And the Breakfast Club talked about this today. And, you know, Charlamagne brought up a good point talking about, I hope that whatever comes out during this trial, that Cassie shared every single last bit with her husband. Because he did show up to court the day before. I think it was yesterday. He showed up to court when Cassie wasn't there. I'm sure he's there now while she's there. But I hope he knows every single detail and that he doesn't find out anything that he didn't know about. But I'm sure if he does, he'll extend grace. But yeah, like, it's just even more humiliating that she has to sit there and admit this stuff. Like, who wants to sit there and admit that they got urinated on and was choking and felt like they didn't have a way out and they was all drugged up and stuff? Oh my God. We'll see, you know, as more things play out. This thing is going on live right now. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.